Out front now, Jeffrey Schwab. He is the lawyer for a group of 7 Chicago public school parents who are suing the teachers union. So, Jeffrey, tell me why you are suing the union.
We're suing the union because they have engaged in a legal strike.
So have you heard from any teachers about your lawsuit?
I haven't heard from any teachers, but I've heard from plenty of parents supportive of the lawsuit. They're tired of the union unilaterally deciding whether their kids get to go to school or not, and taking away their say in what their kids' education is.
So let me ask you this. There's 2 issues here, and there's one that we've sort of been referring to, right, which is a population that has full eligibility for vaccinations, what the science says. There's also right now with the rules, with all of the testing, if someone comes up with a positive, even if they have no symptoms at all, right, they have to sit out. And in Chicago, I know that's resulted in, they say, 855 new cases in students, 647 among adults. And this has repercussions in terms of, well, if you're forced to stay home then because you have to quarantine, who's going to fill in for you? Mike Smith is a public high school history teacher and a representative for the Chicago Teachers Union. And he talked to me about why these absences are mattering. Here's what he said.
But when you drop your kid off, a parent is expecting to have a teacher there that they know, to go into a building that they trust, where everything is working. But today, when you drop kids off at some schools don't have heat. There's rodents in places. The teachers aren't there. They're being taught, or a stranger is in front of them, sometimes security guard, people who aren't qualified to teach kids.
Now, putting aside the heating issue and the rodent issue, because that obviously has nothing to do with COVID, what about the point that he's making, that kids could be going to school and it might be a security guard teaching them who is not qualified to be a teacher, that if that's what your kid's being offered in person, that's not okay?
Well, I think the point of our lawsuit is that the union has engaged in a legal strike, and therefore they get to be the sole decider of whether kids go to school or not, rather than an engaged community and parents getting their say, and principals and teachers. If there's a situation where a classroom or a school it isn't safe for them to go, I don't think parents want them to go. But what the union has done in this case is they've unilaterally shut down the entire district. 340,000 kids can't go to school because they have engaged in a strike that violates the law.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Jeffrey. And again, I'll just make the point that if the point that Mayor Bloomberg made, right, if you've got 80% of the kids in a district falling short of basic state standards, that is a crisis. That is the crisis of greatest concern. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I appreciate your time.